everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Good, The Bad, and The Boring. This is a show where we basically just talk about all of the new things that are coming out in the beauty realm, things that caught my eye, whether for a good reason or a bad reason. We're basically window shopping new things, talking about them, how we feel. So let's get into it. First of all, I'm devastated today because I saw that Grumpy Cat passed away, which is really sad because Grumpy Cat's been around for a really long time and was one of those, I don't want to say the first meme because she wasn't, but she was just, I don't know, it makes me so sad. Poor Grumpy Cat. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about today is from Julius Place. So Julius Place is actually a really amazing makeup company. They make some of the most stellar, beautiful, bright eyeshadow palettes that I have ever seen. Everything has kind of like an African theme to it. It is a Black-owned company. They announced they're coming out with a foundation line with 42 shades. They have 3 different sections for their shade range. They have the Nubian Kingdom, Medium Kingdom, and Fair Kingdom. And what's really cool about this is that they're really sticking to their roots here, and they really are focusing on the darker colors. So when you look at the shade range, the majority of the colors here are much darker shades, and I love that. We get on companies a lot of the time because it feels like their shade range caters more towards lighter skin tones. Their shade range for darker skin tones is always kind of lacking. So the fact that they really focused on the darker skin tones because that is really their focus of their whole company, I think is just awesome. It really made me excited when I opened this picture, and it really made me excited that they were catering more towards darker skin tones, and I just think that's awesome. I've seen some comments where people are complaining about how there's not enough fair skin tone colors and stuff like that, and to me it's like, seriously? You know how many companies, you know how many different freaking foundation lines that you can get your color in? That's just the way that I feel about it. It's something where you can celebrate something that you maybe can't be a part of. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you can celebrate the fact that this is something that we don't see. I've never seen a shade range that is catered so much more towards women of color and darker skin tone, and I love that. I think that it is something that is long overdue. I think that it is really exciting to see, and the fact that there's not as many lighter skin tone colors, I'm okay with. So I think that that is cool as fuck, and if you can't see that, and if you are just complaining because you can't get your color, you're not seeing the bigger picture. So that definitely, I thought, was just so cool. In the last episode of GBB, we talked about Trixie Cosmetics and how Trixie Mattel basically launched her own cosmetics line. But at that point, nothing was announced as far as what her makeup line was going to include. I guessed a bright pink lipstick, and I know that that's like a shocking revelation that's totally left field, and how would I have known? But of course, the first thing she announced was a super ridiculously neon nutso pink lip color. This is called Stacy, and OMG. You know what? This reminds me of, I can't think of the name of it. There's been a couple of MAC colors in my life that really stuck with me. One of them was called Xandra. It did not look like this. It was definitely much more of a baby, like a pastel neon pink. It was really, totally didn't flatter me, but I loved it. This one is just this neon hot electric pink, and it's supposed to be a creamy matte feel. The packaging is so cute because it is shaped like a heart. So the lipstick bullet case is shaped like a heart, which I think is adorable. The other things that she has announced are 3 different glitters, and these glitters are all really pretty unique, which I think is super special. I love that she's coming out with products that are pretty much you don't see anywhere. I mean, one of these glitters is called Pony Up, and they're literally shaped like unicorns. That is so awesome. My child is obsessed with unicorns right now. It's ridiculous how much she's obsessed with unicorns. And so, of course, I see that and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to show her. And then there's 2 other glitters. So there's one that's called Immaterial Girl, and it is a glitter mix. So it has a whole bunch of different size glitters in there. There's some stars. There's a lot of different colors. So that way you get a really cool mixed up kind of look. It's not all uniform. And then the other one that she's announced is called Melon Baller, and it looks awesome as well. These glitters look really cool. So I gotta commend her, because a lot of the times we see people come out with cosmetics lines and it really feels very rinse and repeat, I guess, where we're seeing kind of all of this stuff that's already available. And so I really can appreciate when someone comes out with a collection that is stuff that they are excited about, that you can tell really fits their brand and is something that is really unique. And like that bright pink lip color is definitely very Trixie. The glitter, I mean, the glitter I think is really unique and cool. Trixie doesn't really wear glitter, so that's actually kind of interesting to think about. Regardless, I'm really excited to see when all of this launches. I believe it launches next week. I think it's the 26th, 2 weeks maybe. Let me check really quick. May 24th. Close. May 24th is when everything launches, so it will definitely be interesting to see anything else that she comes out with in that time. Something else, so Huda Beauty has a new setting spray, I believe is what it is. It's called Resting Boss Face, and cool, like, I mean, whatever, with setting sprays are nice and all. I feel like there's a lot of them at this point, so neat, but I am excited because her promotional pictures are my drag queens. Pheromone, you have Violet Chachki, and you have Shea Coulee, which I think is really cool. I get excited anytime that the Rue girls are put in any kind of advertising. It makes me I'm like, yes, my queens! By the way, okay, so if you're watching Drag Race, if you've been paying attention, this season has made me so annoyed because it's the first time, I feel like it's probably not the first time, but it's frustrating me because I can like see the producers in my head being like, ooh, well, we should make this and this happen, and then we should make this girl go home because she would be good for All Stars, and this like, it feels very like not fair anymore because they want to do All Stars every freaking year, which, I mean, there was a 4-year gap between All Stars 1 and 2, and now all of a sudden there's like 800 All-Stars, and it just is a little overwhelming. And then also the lip sync from last week, not the one that was yesterday, but the one a week ago. I literally have no words. That was the fact that both of those girls did not go home. Questionable. All right, let's keep going. I only have a couple more to talk about. I'm going through my saves on Instagram, and it's just kind of funny because there's so much of the the Warbeat for Men, which if you haven't seen that video with me and Paul from last week, go check it out because it's actually pretty funny.
Is it makeup for men, and so they have dumb names like the so Hungry Meals, like the TV dinners?
It's the Hungry Meals.
So what is he putting on? Like concealer?
Skull ring.
Oh, sorry, I need to adjust my brass knuckles.
Not gonna lie, that was a fun video to film. I gotta get him to do more videos with me because he's becoming so much more comfortable in front of the camera. So it's a lot of fun to kind of talk to him and just be goofy together. Something else I saw was that Ipsy Cosmetics is coming out with a Tetris collaboration, so a Tetris themed makeup collection. And when I first saw this, I thought this was really cool. I saw Jen Loves Reviews posted this, so I thought the idea was really cool until I actually scrolled to open the palette, and you see that all I wanted when I saw Tetris makeup palette, all I wanted was for the eyeshadows to be in the shape of the Tetris blocks. Is that too much to ask? That to me seems like 101 packaging awesomeness, is to have them in the shape of freaking the Tetris blocks, right? Like the L, the T, the line, square, but they're not. They're just colors. And I just am disappointed in that. Other than that, I mean, it is cool to see like the retro kind of 8-bit style. Design is definitely neat. It gives me more Tron vibes, I feel, than actually Tetris. I see where they were going with it, but I can't lie. I really just wanted the damn blocks. That's all. The swatches that Jen posted actually are pretty impressive. All of the colors look really nice, and I can tell that it's just like a one swatch kind of dealio, like a one finger swatch. This one with the green and the like Dwight mustard is really cool. The blue and pink one, it's not bad. I just, that I'm looking at it and I'm like, there is so much that could have been neat about this, and I just Ugh, boo. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about today is a new collection coming out from Urban Decay, and it is called, what is it called? The Heavy Metal Glitter Collection. This looks like it's going to include heavy metal glitter liners, which are not new, some lip colors, looks like lip glosses, some eyeliners, and then heavy metal glitter gel. So I'm really interested to see what this collection is going to look like, because honestly, I've never really been a big fan of the heavy metal glitters from Urban Decay. I've always kind of just not liked the fact that they're really chunky glitter in a clear gel. Or a very translucent gel liner. So when I do, like, if I was going to do glitter liner, I want it to be incredibly pigmented and opaque. I don't want any spaces between the glitter particles, and the way that heavy metal is they're just so chunky that it's like not possible unless you're doing a bunch of layers, and then it gets like cracky and gross looking. So it's just one of those things that's like, I don't know, I'm just not a big fan. The gel does look very thick, especially in these videos. I just don't know what I would use it for. Like, that's all I can think, is that I don't know, other than putting it, I guess, in my hair if I wanted to, but I don't even really know if that's something I'd want to do. Even in these videos that I see, I mean, it does look cool, and they've got it kind of sparkling all over, and everything looks neat, but I just honestly, outside of, in their ad that they show, it's clearly something like a pride parade. And yeah, there, I think it would look really neat. But I also can just use the glitters that I have to get kind of that same effect without it being a gel like that. Especially just buying a gel in one color, because they come in all these different colors. And so if you wanted to do something like that, you'd have to get all the different colors. And it looks like a pretty giant tube for one shade of glitter. I'll definitely have to see this in person to really get a real feel for it, but just looking at it and just knowing how I already feel about heavy metal glitter from Urban Decay, It also looks like something that should have come out before Coachella. It definitely looks like a festival product. And so the fact that it's coming out after Coachella is over, even though I know that there's festivals in the summertime, of course, but Coachella is really the main one that people go to because it's in California. Again, it just doesn't make much sense to me. That being said, that's all I'm going to talk about for today's GBB. As always, tell me your comments. Let me know your thoughts on everything that we talked about today. Something that I may have missed that we can talk about next week. I know I didn't do a GBB last week. That's because there was nothing. And then all of a sudden there was all of these things like Monday this week. It was weird. But that's about it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.